Good evening to you, my friends. It is a pleasure to come and to talk with you, and to say to those that are, familiar with my voice, with my words, we thank you for your, continued support in those words that we bring forward. Because you do not seem to tire of what we have to say from the spirit world, and that is good, because that means that we are feeding your soul. We are feeding that psyche that is your mind, and the spirits that makes up your soul. And so it is that we welcome coming to an environment such as this, so that we may inspire others to look at their own individual spiritual pathway in life. Your material world is not an easy place in which to reside. The reading that was given spoke of the divine plan of action, to use a modern phrase. Because you know your world is in what you may call turmoil, because everybody is seeking to have power over others, over lands, over seas, over the whole inhabitation of your world. And so it is that we need to bring to you positivity and an understanding of that divine plan, because each of you has a role to play in your world of matter. It does not matter what you think you can do or you cannot do because of physical restrictions, or even maybe mental restrictions on you, the individual. But the spirit within can transcend and work through those physical problems that you have, through those material problems that you have, through those emotional problems that you have, because that is life in your world of matter. But the spiritual realms does not have the restrictions and the confines of the material physical world in which at this moment in time you reside within. And so it is that we are always welcoming you into the midst of an environment such as this, where things of the spirit are spoken about, because you all put your promptings of your own spirituality to your overactive imagination. You dismiss the promptings of the spirit. You dismiss when you have communication with the spirit world in your daydreaming state, or in the state of dreaming within your world of sleep. And then you just push those things that are unseen to one side. And some individuals never do act upon their own intuition. They want others to help them to make decisions in life. They want advice from their friends and loved ones. And yet, you know, many do not take advice, even when it is given in the correct manner, between communication between you and others. And yet, you know, all of you are quite capable of making your own decisions, because you are responsible for you. And within spiritualism, that is in the principles and has been said as the phrase personal responsibility. And so it is that we in the spirit world would indeed from time to time come to advise, But you know, sometimes advice is not good enough, for there are many that have to learn through experience. And that is the best way to learn, but perhaps the most uncomfortable way to learn. And that is why we are always looking out to have those that will work with their spiritual understanding and their spiritual gifts that are bestowed upon each one of you, because it is the Spirit within that is necessary to give you eternal life. And so with that knowledge that you are going to live for an eternity, which is very difficult to comprehend, we would tell to you that all of you have gifts that you can use to help others, and in so doing to help yourself. In your lives you are all worried and concerned about others, about yourselves, about those that have left the world of the physical, because it is necessary that you have this mind that will turn things over, turn things upside down and inside out, trying to find answers to questions. And that is what we like, you to ask questions of those in the spirit world. Test the spirit, they say to you. Through eons of time there have been those that have come forward to show their spiritual light, to show their spiritual understanding, to link with those in the spirit world that have a message to give out. There are too many in your world that grieve over the loss of their loved ones and friends, and yet do not think that it is possible that the spirit has managed to move on when the physical body goes back to the earth. And so it is that we would encourage all of you. The thing that was said in the reading was that it won't be a blinding flash that will change your world. It will have to be through those that are ready and willing to act as channels. And there is no one on your earth plane that cannot be a channel for the spirit world. It is just there are many that you may think have been brainwashed into matters that make them, how shall we say, terrorize others to get power over your earth vibration. But you see, that cannot be, because it is the love vibration that comes directly from God, the Father, that is the vibration on which to work. That means that your motives are most important in the greater scheme of things. If you do good, then your spirituality will grow. Your understanding of the spiritual realms of life will flourish. You will understand that the material and spiritual pathways in life have to run parallel, one with the other. And then, friends, there will be a transformation within your world. And that is what everybody is waiting for. People will lay down their arms and not pick them up as they do now, because they are on that vibration of greed. They are not on the vibration of love. Not the love that you celebrate once a year in February, but the unconditional love that lies within you, that is part of the spirit that you are. And so you see, the spirit has to have expression. And that expression does not begin when the physical body has failed and gone back to the earth. The spiritual expression can start as soon as you are ready to listen. You know, in these war-torn countries, you see them fighting on the streets. What you do not see is how the power of the Spirit works within that environment, helping those that have been injured, helping those that need shelter, food, that need help at the very basics of life itself. That is how the Spirit of the world works. We are always in our world helping those to express love to one another, and that shines forth in war-torn countries and in those countries that do not have enough food or water to sustain physical life also. There have been many things that have come out of those countries under those dire circumstances that have helped the world as a whole. Even those countries that have spent very much money in exploring space, all that was not wasteful as it may seem at first glance, because there have been things that have been understood that now help those in your world that may suffer with the physical body not working as it should. And so all things have an upside, shall we put it that way. And that should give you encouragement. That should help you to have faith in yourself and the spiritual realms of life. And so the divine plan is unfolding as it should. But it is just that most of you in your world have what we would term blinkers on, so that you cannot see too far ahead, that you cannot see the full picture of how the world will indeed follow that divine plan. You may not be in your physical body as the plan unfolds, but even so you will be part of the plan, because your spirit is going to continue for an eternity. And then you will see the part you have played in your life, whether it be just your physical life or in the spiritual realms also, because that life will continue. And so we want you to go and tell the message about the truths of the Spirit, that the Spirit cannot die, that the individuals that you knew on the earth are still individualistic in the spirit world, bringing back to you their memories, because it is the love tie that binds you all together. And so it is that it is important that you take your rightful place in looking for answers to questions that perplex you in your day-to-day living. You know, everything changes and nothing ever stays the same. And yet you all fear change. That word to most is a little bit unsettling, you see. But things are changing. Things are improving, because we are able from the spirit world to link with all those that live in the physical world. And when they take notice of their own spirituality, then that is a sure sign that things will change for the better. And so we want to tell to you that there is no death. It is only the physical that is left behind, and life continues. So let us rename that event that you call death and call it rebirth, because it is a rebirth into that world that is there, steadfast and strong, helping all as they move forward in their lives, giving them an understanding of the fact that the Spirit will continue, that life continues. And if people in your world understood just that, then they would look at their lives differently. They would change the way that they do this, that, and the other. And that is when true enlightenment will bring forward spirituality. And in so doing, the divine plan will be unfolding as it should. And so we leave you with that positivity. We leave you with that understanding that death is nothing but rebirth. And we say to you, my friends, good night and God bless.